Hey everybody, welcome back to the underground lair at Stringman Guitars. Today we have a Martin Custom D Dreadnought. Needs some love. It hasn't had a setup in a long time and it's got old strings. It had 12 54s on there and that's what's going on. I don't know what brand these strings are, but we're going with the Martin Marquis. I did have to put almost a whole turn into the truss rod because we had over 22 thousandths of relief at the 7th fret holding at the body joint, and I brought it down to 10. I just want to see if there's any string buzz there. That's good. We also installed the back pin with a little bit of Tight-Bond original, which is what you should use in these types of situations. So we're going to take the string height is still too high. It is at 7/64 on the bass side and 6/64 on the treble side. So we're going to take 2 off of the bridge, and that should bring us down into happy land. But let's go ahead and get these strings off and we'll be back. Oh no, it's got the dreaded wrap under, which is not necessary. And I like to keep them in the same order that they come out of the guitar, because it seems like they get to a place where they like to rest. Simple green. Okay, so I'm going to mark off 2/64 at the bottom of this, and I've got some 220 paper here. We're just going to take it down to that, so let me do that and I'll be back. Okay, so we got considerable amount of bottom of the saddle taken off, and now we're going to polish the frets. First with 1500 grit, and then 1822 micro mesh. I'm not going to grind these down, I'm just taking off the grunge that has already been living here. Nobody goes under their strings to clean the frets. You don't want to take a bunch off. There's not a lot of wear on these frets. But I'm going to shut up and just continue to film what I'm doing here. Okay, so we're back here. We put some oil on the fingerboard, or the bridge. We oiled the fingerboard, and it's still, I think I might put some more on there. It's really thirsty. I always come by and this takes a 10 mil. Just kind of snug these bushings up, because that can lead to tuning issues. I'm going to put a little bit more of this on there because it really sucked that up. Thirsty fingerboard. You use a glove, because if you use a paper towel, it just, everything goes in the paper towel. If you use a glove, you can feel where it's going. And you can get it everywhere, like in real close to the frets and stuff. That looks happier. Wipe off the excess and we'll be ready to put the new strings on. And what you saw me cleaning it with was nothing more than water. And you'll probably see whenever I go to put the strings on, we put tension back on the neck, that the neck will actually expel some of this oil, because it only takes what it can use. Little trick here, always take the string and just pull it up against a pin. That helps you when you're trying to get your strings in here without things pulling out the other side. I always make the bass side, I set the slots at 2 and 8, and the treble side I set at 10 and 4. And I'll show you why in a second. So we see where it wants to go. Find the hole. There we go. And I like to get about, put my finger, my paw at the 12th fret, and I bring it that tight. And then I make a Z out of the string. Bring it back a little bit further so you can see. So there's a Z in the string, and we go ahead and we wrap it. Or wind it, I should say. This should give you about 2.5 wraps. This is all you need for the bass side, because they have the string grabs onto itself. And then we take this paste that's infused with graphite, and we jam it in the nut slot. It helps your tuning. And that's how you do that. I'm going to continue with the rest of the strings. Alright, so we're up to pitch. Now we have to stretch in the strings a little bit. And part of that is bending the strings on the wand strings closer to the pegs, because there's a bend that goes around there that it has to work in. Boy, after you polish frets, it's so rewarding to feel that smooth feeling. Yeah, we maintained a good break angle. Just stretching them in a little bit. That's another thing that you need to bend in a little bit, is where the string comes over the saddle. Alright, let's see where our relief ended up. Pretty flat. The neck is pretty flat. Let's see if we have any buzzing. Where's the pick? Thought the day was going to play up here. Alright, let's see where our string height ended up. It still looks kind of on the high side, but let's see what it is. Oh no, it's right where we want it. 6/64 and 5/6, exactly where we want it. 6/64, 5/64. Bada bing! Yeah, if I would have taken any more of that saddle down, there would be almost no break angle, but we got a good break angle. Okay, cool beans, we're going to let this sit. Call this done. All we have to do is let it relax overnight, adjust the truss rod as needed, and trim the string ends when we're totally done. And there wasn't much oil at F1 that leached out of the fingerboard, hardly at all. So this was definitely a thirsty board. One thing I didn't check was the fret height, or the string height at the first fret. You want a maximum of 22, and Martin is way under that. So we're happy there. got the nut right. They better when they're asking that kind of money, right? Good job, guys and girls. If you ever get a chance to get up to Martin, they have a wonderful facility. Well, right now it's actually closed because of COVID. And this is, what, 2 days before New Year's Eve, 2021? So thank you for joining us down here in the underground lair for another adventure of guitar setup. If you are in the general Pittsburgh area and you need your axe sharpened, please send me an email, stringmanguitars@gmail.com. And if you like what you see here, if you learned anything, you know, feel free to say so in the comments. But if you would like to hit the hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and a little bit in the little thing there for notifications. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyhow, happy New Year's Eve, and this is probably the last one before the end of the year. So peace, take care of yourselves, happy New Year, bless you.